time for another one of our summer musical activities. I hope that you are enjoying them. So we're going to be talking today about rhythm and meter. Did you know that everything that we read and that we say has some kind of a rhythm or a meter to it? You could clap your hands and figure out what that rhythm is. So we're going to be talking about poems today, so I thought I would bring you a poem by one of my favorite authors, Shel Silverstein. So I'm going to read it for you first, and while I'm reading this poem to you, I want you to think about the different rhythms and the meter that you hear as I read. Okay, so this is from A Light in the Attic, and the poem is called Fear. So I'm going to read this short poem for you, and I want you to think about the rhythm as I am reading the poem. Here we go. Fear. Barnabas Browning was scared of drowning, so he never would swim or get into a boat or take a bath or cross a moat. He just sat day and night with his door locked tight and the windows nailed down, shaking with fear that a wave might appear, and cried so many tears that they filled up the room, and he drowned. We're not going to break this entire poem down, but just the very beginning. Let's listen to the first two lines, and instead of thinking of the words, I want you to think of the rhythm. And so we'll clap our hands when we hear each word. So the first two lines say, Barnabas Browning was scared of drowning. So here's what it would be. Barnabas Browning was scared of drowning. Okay, did you hear that? So each one of those has a different rhythm or beat. So what we're going to do this week is actually write a poem, because I think that you are all creative enough to write your own poems, and we're going to put a rhythm or a beat to that. So I'm going to show you some different steps of how to do that, because it's always good practice to be able to figure out rhythms on your own. Okay, the first step is that you're going to actually write your poem. I'm not even going to give you any parameters about what your poem should be about. And then I want you to slow down and read that while clapping, okay? Just to get those beats in your head. Now, if you've been with me for any amount of time, or you started learning piano with me, you actually learned a method for figuring out rhythms called the Kodali method. Now, I know that's not a word that you've really probably ever heard before, because I don't use that in my studio. But what it is taking the quarter notes, the half notes, the whole notes, and turning them into different words. And this is what I mean. So the first one is a quarter note. We all know that a quarter note is one beat. It would be quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. But instead of saying that, because I think that's a little bit confusing, the Kodali method says that you turn that into ta. So all of your quarter notes are ta, 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 ta. Okay? Then we have half notes. Half notes are two beats. So we say ta two. So it's going to be like this. Ta two, ta two. What do you think a dotted half note would be? That would be ta two three. Ta two three. Ta two three. Ta two three. And then we have a whole note, which is of course four beats, and we've got ta two three four. Ta two three four. The only other one that I'd like you to think about are 2 eighth notes. Say T-T. So it sounds like this. T-T, 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 T-T. So once you've written your poem and clapped it out, then the next thing you need to do is to use the Kodali method, or just simply write out the rhythms for each of the notes. And let me give you an example. Now I'm going to read you the poem that I am dedicating to all of my past and future music students. My music students are so cool, quite the talented crew. The summertime is ending soon, they'll be back in school. I hope when lessons start in fall, the quarantine will be done. I want to hug their necks, but either way, we'll be sure to have a ball. Okay, the first line is my music students are so cool. So here's what I did. I tapped it out. My music students are so cool. All right, and then I put Kodali rhythms to that. Ta, 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 ti, 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 ta, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more line so that you can see how this works. Quite the talented crew. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, 2, 3. And now you can see the finished poem, which can then be turned into a song if you wanted to. I hope that you have a really fun time writing poems and figuring out the rhythm. Sometimes this can be a little bit difficult and frustrating. So with anything else, if you're frustrated with it, put it aside. Come back in another time. And then when you come back, hopefully you'll have a little bit more clarity and be able to do it. I also wanted to share this picture that was sent to me by my student Luella. Luella listened to the Winter of Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and this is the picture that she came up with, and I think it's fabulous. I would love to see more of your pictures. Have a great day.